What's up, sports fans? It's your man D back. Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. Check it out, guys. We got two MMA topics today. We're going to start off season 3. Thank you guys for participating with two MMA topics. So, for the love of sports, let's talk about it.
Shit happens, niggas want me to talk about it. They love gossip, want me to talk about it. It's all over the gram, so I'ma talk about it. You heard what happened? Niggas want me to talk about it. Shit crazy, niggas want me to talk about it. You heard what happened? Niggas want me to talk about it. Shit happens, niggas want me to talk about it. They love gossip, want me to talk about it. It's all over the gram, so I'ma talk about it. You heard what happened? Niggas want me to talk about it. Shit crazy, niggas want me to talk about it. You heard what happened? Niggas want me to talk about it. Shit happens, niggas want me to talk about it. Fuck how niggas feel, I'ma talk.
Alright. So, the first MMA topic, now remember guys, is going to be 2 mastermind points. So, you can drop one comment on either topic for this MMA edition, or you can answer to both of them. 150 words or less. Drop that in the comment. You're looking for relevant facts. List as many relevant facts in your comment as you can. And also, you can send an audio recording in to speakyourmindsportstalk@gmail.com. So, we're going to crank up the first of the 2 MMA topics with Chris Weidman says he can end Jon Jones' streak, just like he did Anderson Silva. Now, one thing's for sure, when Chris Weidman stopped Anderson Silva, it was totally unexpected. And then they came back in a rematch, and unfortunately, Anderson Silva, broke his leg. Very, very gruesome leg break. Chris Weidman checked the kick, and just snapped there. But even still, he ended the reign and the streak of Anderson Silva. And he believes, that he can do the same to Jon Jones. Now, Chris Weidman will have to put on a little weight, but wasn't much of a difference. He's a pretty big guy, and he had to cut weight when he fought Anderson Silva. So, it's safe to say that Chris Weidman could make the weight and get up there where Jon Jones is. But the question is, can Chris Weidman do it? Anderson Silva and Jon Jones is a different animal. At one point, a lot of people were interested in seeing that fight when Anderson Silva was younger, more in his prime. I think that would have been a terrific fight. Of course, it never manifested. Anderson Silva had his woes, his drug issues, and then, nowadays, there's no way that he will be able to do anything against Jon Jones. But Chris Weidman is still a live dog in the UFC. He's lost a couple of battles, but he's a fighter. The question is, can he do that to Jon Jones? Now, he has total confidence and total belief in himself that he can end the Jon Jones streak. He can stop the Jon Jones era, per se. He's justifying it with, being able to do the impossible with what he did with Anderson Silva. Because I have to be perfectly honest, I didn't believe that he would beat Anderson Silva. I thought that this would just be another Anderson Silva show. He would do what he does, and he would either stop or finish Chris Weidman. And Chris Weidman did the impossible. Now, not to make excuses or anything, but Anderson Silva was kind of playing with the head and, just right there in Chris Weidman's face, and Weidman caught him, and he stopped him. And then to go into the second fight, I believe that Anderson Silva knew that, he was a little sloppy, played a little too much, and then he was going to come back and finish Chris Weidman. And then, unfortunately, as I said before, the leg break. And it was a gruesome break. Nobody's going to win a fight after a break like that, trust and believe. So that fight was over after that happened. So he basically ended the streak, the reign of Anderson Silva. And, much respect to Chris Weidman. He's a dog. He's a great fighter. I'm, not to say he got lucky or anything, because when you beat a man twice, that silences all the noise about it being a fluke or luck or anything else like that. Jon Jones, again, is a different animal. Totally different animal. And no one's been able to beat him. Jon Jones lost due to disqualification, but no one has beaten Jon Jones. He's been beaten by no one. And is Chris Weidman the guy to do it? That's the answer that you guys, if the fight happens, I'm not sure the possibilities of it. But one thing we know about Dana White, the fans holler enough, Dana will make that fight. Because if Dana sees the money can be made off that fight, he'll get those guys in the ring. Much respect to him on that aspect of what he does there in the UFC. He puts on the good fights, Dana White doesn't have to worry about a lot of sanctioning bodies and promoters and all of the foolishness that we have to deal with in boxing. It's Dana White. What Dana White says goes, or you hit the road. Just that simple in the UFC. So we get the good fights in the UFC, and you have to give Dana White respect to that. And if the fans really want this fight, then he'll make it happen. That's for sure. But if the fight was to happen, the question is, what do you guys think? Who do you guys think wins that fight? 150 words or less, relevant facts about why. That's the easiest way to score in this contest. Make sure it's 150 words or less, though, and you give relevant facts concerning Chris Weidman and the battle of Jon Jones. Okay? Or you could send in an audio recording to Speak Your Mind Sports Talk at gmail.com. Just make sure that audio recording is 30 seconds or less. Now, for the second Mastermind title, that's right, we're cranking off this new season with not one, but two Mastermind titles in the MMA topic. And the second Mastermind title for this MMA topic is going to be Whittaker, Robert Whittaker versus Isreal, I hope I say his last name right, Adesanya. Good fight. Good fight. I really like Robert Whittaker. I always have. He's a great fighter. He's a great fighter. Isreal has, come abroad. He's shown the UFC that he's game. He actually called out Jon Jones a couple of times himself. I don't think that he's ready for that smoke. But Isreal versus Robert Whittaker, hey guys, that's a good battle in itself. Both of these guys are well-rounded fighters, great strikers. So, this would be a match of all matches. Like I love MMA, particularly the UFC. I do watch a lot of other, like Rec and One and Bellator. So, I even watch pure grappling contests. Some people that's not into mixed martial arts, they can't really get into grappling because it's not really any striking. It's more about controlling your opponent. Making sure you don't get caught into any moves and submit it. But I actually enjoy that art as well. So I love MMA. And these two guys, Isreal and Robert, this would be an awesome fight. Awesome fight. And that's the second MMA topic. Who wins that fight? Because this one is going to happen. In UFC 243, if I'm not mistaken. This fight's on and popping. So there's no question about will we get this fight. We're going to get this one. And I would like you guys' opinion on who wins. Remember, 150 words or less, relevant facts. Put it in that comment section. That's all you got to do to join this competition, guys. Or you can send an audio recording to Speak Your Mind Sports Talk at gmail.com. Robert Whittaker, Isreal Adesanya. Who wins that fight? And that's the second topic for the MMA side of this Mastermind competition. We cranking off this new season 3, guys, with 2 Mastermind titles awarded on the MMA side. So, Chris Weidman, can he beat Jon Jones? Robert Whittaker and Isreal Adesanya, who wins? Because that fight's going to happen. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon so y'all know when I drop these videos. Peace.
Shit happens, niggas want me to talk about it. They love gossip, want me to talk about it. It's all over the gram, so I'ma talk about it. You heard what happened? Niggas want me to talk about it.